Today I'm going to teach you how to make gluten-free bread. It can be really good if you know how to make it with the proper techniques and the proper flours, or it could be really bad. To start off, what you'll need to do is have everything all arranged your mise en place, which means everything in its place. So to start off with, I've already scaled out all my flours, and because it's gluten-free bread, you can't use wheat flour. So we have a variety of flours. We have tapioca starch, cornstarch, bean flour, sorghum flour, and then just the random stuff that you use for normal breads. Bean flour, tapioca flour come in little packages like this. You can get them in health food stores or Safeway, or Superstore even has some of the stuff. So now we're going to start mixing. For the most important part is scaling your flours and everything properly, because a measuring cup can be different weights, or things can be packed more, the humidity can make a difference, and so I always like to use a weigh scale, because you can just turn it on and weigh everything in, and it all goes in one bowl instead of a zillion little dishes. So you just turn it on, press tare, so then it's at 0. You just add all of your dry. Cornstarch, tapioca flour, bean flour, sorghum flour, milk powder, salt, sugar, yeast, and xanthan gum. Most important part for xanthan gum is you want to mix it before you add your liquid, because as soon as xanthan gum gets wet, it gels up, and if you add your liquid before it's evenly dispersed, then it's going to gel up into all these little bubbles, and they're going to wreck your bread. So you put it in your mixer with the paddle attachment and just mix it. And then you want to add your butter and mix that till the butter is evenly dispersed in the whole recipe. And you just want to mix it up until your flour is just granular, just so that the butter is not all in one big clump. So when you add the liquid, it's not going to make issues. And then you add your eggs and your liquid all at once. I'll add, well, most of it. You want to add about 90%, so that just when it's finished mixing, you can pour a little bit at the end and kind of get right down to the bottom. See that there's still some little bits of flour in the bottom, so you just want to add the rest of your water, and that will help it all come together. Once it's all clingy, you'll turn it up a little higher. Scrape it down. And now you want to mix it for about 6 minutes on high.
A century ago, movies were just learning to walk and run, and nobody ran like the Keystone Cops.
Okay, it's been 6 minutes now. So you can tell from the batter that it's just sticky and it's warmer, and that will help with it rising. It's stuck in my I can't get it out. So it's just this gooey mass. It's not really running very far. Okay, so once again, here it is. It's just, what type of consistency is that? Just very thick, gooey mass. And if you touch it, it's just falling everywhere. Okay, so now that it's done, we're going to put it in our pans. For these gluten-free ones, you just spray the pan. Whenever I'm using gluten-free or any bread for that matter, I always like to have a little dish of water that you dip your hands into, because then it doesn't stick to you. It just slides off. This recipe makes 3 loaves, so how I'm going to make it all even is I'm going to use my handy dandy scale and just put it on, tear it out, which means zero it, you know, and you get your scraper and put in 600 grams. Tear it out again, just in case the different bowls are different weights. And so I put it in the room at around 24 degrees Celsius. You know, you can use a heater or a hot sink, works really well. And for about an hour and a half, and I'm going to put it in the oven for 50 minutes or so at 360. And this is what they look like with their risen. They're a little garbly on top, but that's just because you can't get that smooth finish like a normal bread dough. And I'll put it in the oven, we'll see it afterwards.
What are you doing?
Spraying it with water so that the crust doesn't form as fast, so it can have more of an oven spring.
More of an oven spring?
An oven spring. Oven spring is the technical term for the extra jump yeast has in the oven. Between 30 and 60 degrees Celsius, yeast will rise very rapidly. By the time it reaches 100, it is dead. So the little window you have there makes oven spring. I find it perfect. So I put the bread in at 360 for 50 minutes, and we'll see how they are. For the gluten-free bread, you want it to be a really nice dark color. They'll get a really good caramelization. And you should just slide it over your pan. You want to check that they're thoroughly done. And to do that, you'll give it the bottom a really good thump, and it should sound hollow. Also, you could insert a thermometer. If it's at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, then you're good. And then you just have to let it cool so that it can finish its internal cooking.